Diamond Premium Dog Food Review. Dun, dun, dun. Without any further ado, let's get into the review of this food and a little background on it. So, this is Complete Balanced Food, active, athletic dogs, all natural life stages. So you definitely don't want to feed this to a lazy dog because it does have a high amount of fat at 18%. Glucosamine to support joints, 75% of protein from animal sources, and guaranteed probiotics. So the probiotics help break down things in the gut and help maintain healthy gut, healthy dog. 75% of the protein sources come from animals, which is very good. You know what I mean? You don't want to be using a lot of plant-based proteins. So let's get into it. Let's get into it's 40-pound bag. And my wife brought this today, so I believe you can get this bag for under $40. I believe. I'm not quite sure. But maybe $40 if you go to Tractor Supply. 75% protein from animal sources, working dogs, show dogs, hunting dogs, and breeding dogs need protein from quality animal sources to maintain a healthy body condition. With 75% protein from animal proteins, Diamond Premium provides carefully determined levels of protein, fat, and other essential nutrients to support active lifestyle. So right there is telling you that this dog food is basically, not full of grains and not full of fillers. That's what they're saying on the outside. And I'm inclined to believe it because basically, if it's saying 75% of the proteins from animal sources, they can't really lie about that. I'm not sure how they would get around lying about that. So ingredients: chicken byproduct meal, whole grain corn, a grain. Byproduct meal is about 70%, 30 to 70% protein. Ground corn, ground wheat, chicken fat. Those are grains. Those give the dog a lot of calories and a lot of energy, especially if you're working the dog. Nothing gives the dog more energy and, than grains. Chicken fat preserved with tocopherols, dry plain beef pulp. Beef pulp, that's just a filler, a fiber to help the dog have a regular bowel movement. Egg product is another protein source. Natural flavors, could be artificial flavors. You got flaxseed, that's the omegas. You got fish meal, that's kind of more like an omegas. And then you got salmon oil, a source of DHA. You got this ingredient right here, fermentation product, lactobacillus acetylcysteine fermentation product, dried enterococcus fumarium fermentation product. These are all dried bifidobacterium. So these are all different microbes that are going in the dog's stomach to help keep a healthy gut. One thing about putting these into the system, these are things that would occur naturally in a dog's stomach when they get it from their mother's milk or maybe from other sources in nature. But one thing I would say is when you give the dog like a monthly worm treatment, or maybe even water with chlorine in it, like the water that we drink, a lot of that stuff can kill the healthy bacteria in your stomach, which is providing you with nutrients, enzymes, and it's like a beneficial relationship that we have with bacteria in our stomachs. So before we get into this, all ingredients and levels of protein and fat, I want to say we were buying. Now, see, well, let's rewind. If you're watching this video, you're about to get a gym. So first and foremost, we were buying puppy food, Diamond puppy food, but they don't never have the big bags. You can get the big bag of Diamond puppy food for, I believe, $40 for 40 pounds. Or something like that. 40 pounds for, I believe it's $40. But then they only have the small bags, and the small bags are $25 for half of the bag. So you're actually, in essence, going to be paying $10 more for the bag of puppy food. So, that doesn't make any sense. If you're on a budget, if you have a bunch of animals, buying that puppy food for extra $10 a bag is kind of like stupidity in a way. So that's why they keep the small half bags, because they make more money off the half bag than they do the whole bag. They charge you $25 for the half bag, and the whole bag is, I believe, $40. Maybe it's $41. I'm not quite sure at this moment, but maybe it's $41, $42 or something like that. But basically, you're paying extra for the half a bag. So if you notice these ingredients, these are the same exact ingredients in their puppy food. I'm not quite sure if it's verbatim, but I feel like it's everything that the puppy food has in it. The only difference between the puppy food and this is the protein level and the fat level. The fat level in here is 18%. Puppy food is... Okay, so basically the only difference between this food and the puppy food is the protein, the fat, and the calories per cup, or calories per cup. The puppy food has 40 calories per cup, and it has 4% more protein and 2% more fat. And then let's go to omega-6 and 3, 0.5%, 0.3%. So it's pretty much the same food. The feeding is pretty much the same. So we supplement meat with our dog food, and also feeding too much protein can be a problem. And we also add fat to our dog food. So the fat doesn't really matter, and that's enough protein for us. So this is a good hack for those who don't want to spend money on the puppy food. You can actually use this. But it's better to start off with the puppy food because it's smaller granules, and these granules are a little bit larger. So you start them off with the small, and then you put them on the large. A few good things that this dog food has